This is my coffee. I got this from Victoria Comfort Hotel in Kisumu. Nice place. You can enjoy. You can always visit there if you have time. Now, today, I want us to do things a bit different. I want to respond to some questions because for those who remember, 2 days ago, I posted something on my YouTube stories and I asked this question. You can see it here. Ask me any question about this man and his 2022 presidential bid. I will respond to all the questions. I wanted to respond to some of the questions you guys were going to ask. And I'm going to have this segment every single week. So this week, I'm going to respond to questions about Raila Odinga and his 2022 presidential bid. My answer will be purely my answer. Has nothing whatsoever related to Raila Odinga or his secretariat. My own answers. Now let's just go straight to the first question. The first guy is asking, he's called Tabi Moreira. Tabi is saying, I am a die-hard follower of Baba. Tell me he will be in the ballot. Raila Odinga has already declared that he will be running for 2022. He has maintained that. But I've always also maintained that the name Raila Odinga will be on the ballot in 2022. But because politics is dynamic, a lot of things can change and he might decide to support someone else. And that's why I also tell people that people should start monitoring this guy called Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Raila Odinga might support him. But as far as I'm concerned, Raila Odinga's name will be on the ballot. The second one is coming from a guy called David Keuru. He's saying, how will he ensure fair play during nominations? Because this is where people feel cheated and their rights not respected, and ensure every contestant is given a fair chance to be elected by his followers and all ballots counted. I think he's referring to ODM nominations. And I must confess that the biggest challenge Raila Odinga has is conducting free and fair nominations process in ODM party. But again, according to ODM rules, the ODM party can use two methods. There's direct nomination where they can choose any other person to contest. And also there's the universal suffrage where the party members are allowed to choose whoever they want to represent them. But this has always presented a challenge to the party from where I am. Because sometimes, like look at now, saizi, there are people who are struggling with the party at the grassroots. Others are busy making money. So towards the tail end of when elections are near, these guys will come back to the party. And the people who have been working for the party will be disadvantaged because they come with the money already. So the party must also try, not ODM only, but any other party, to favor sometimes their own supporters and sometimes give the people the right to vote. But I think ODM and Raila Odinga came up with a task force which was supposed to address some of these issues. I don't know how they are going to address them. I don't work for ODM. So the other guy is called ABCD. That's his name. He's saying, in Kenya, we have two gangs angling for the spoil, with each other burying their fangs at each other. But what we need in Kenya is not even peace. It is our economic peace. I keep on telling people that for us to have economic stability, we need to have political stability. Political stability determines the kind of economy we are going to have as a country. If our politics is weak, then we can't have economic stability. Because it can't be that in this country, every 5 years, we are faced with electoral challenges. Why? Because we have weak politics. So in my view, we need to fix both. If our politics is right, if we get our politics right, then economy will definitely just speak up. That's my view. The other guy, the next guy is Vincent Okari. Is asking, those asking about what will happen if Uhuru betrays Baba, I think they are being ridiculous. Kenyans are not aware that Uhuru promised to support Raila in 2022 and not even an MCA seat. Rather, they are aware that Uhuru promised and will support William Samoei Ruto in 2022-2032. It's right to some extent that Uhuru never promised to support Raila Odinga. Even during the handshake, they've been very clear that the handshake was not about 2022 election. But the other reality is that Uhuru promised to support the deputy president in 2022-2032. But in politics, there's nothing like political debt. So if William Ruto will be sitting pretty that Uhuru promised him his support, then he is dreaming, because Uhuru is not going to support Ruto. This is very clear for any other person to see. John Dirangu is saying he fits in opposition because of his fame of causing chaos, people to sleep on the road, people looting kiosks. He thrives well in that area. Presidency should be left to Ruto, who God ordained and anointed. I don't want to go into that, because anytime I see people invoke the name of God, that I know that that person is probably suffering. Religion has always been used to manipulate the poor. And I can tell here that John probably is one of those poor people who are being manipulated by religion. Uhuru Kenyatta was portrayed as someone who was ordained by God. The same people who voted for a man who was ordained by God are the same people who are now suffering with the rest of the Kenyans. So I'm not going to go into that. Then above average human being, that's someone also. It's obvious you are a staunch supporter of this man and everything about her. Maybe. So he has not asked any question. Jasigoti, that's a friend of mine. We come from the same village. I come from Sigoti. And I know he's in the United States. He's asking, will Wananchi ever know who won in the last 3 elections? It's shrouded in mystery, and opening servers and union acknowledgement from both sides can take us far. As a matter of fact, the IBC guys knows who won. Kenyans knows who won in those elections. In 2007, Raila Odinga won free and fair. In 2017-2013 elections, Uhuru was declared a winner, but through the servers. So those servers, in my view, ought to be opened so that Kenyans can know the truth. But again, if they were to be opened, then we are going to have a crisis in this country. Then, the next guy is called Joe. Joe is saying, if he becomes president, what are the odds that he will be just as useless and out of touch as the current clown? If he doesn't, who in Luo Nyanza stands the chance of inheriting his base? So he's asking, if Raila Odinga becomes the president, what are the odds that is likely to turn out to be just another Uhuru? It seems Uhuru Kenyatta really betrayed people. But again, I'm sure that if Raila Odinga was to become the president of the Republic of Kenya, from the way he has suffered, he was likely to bring certain changes whose impact might not be felt at that particular time, but for prosperity. Look, for example, the impact, the changes he made. He helped push in this country, like ensuring that the president doesn't have the right to fire his deputy the way he wants. Ruto would have been fired today. Look, for example, this idea of devolution. There are people who have lost their lives for that, people like Mbai. But the impact of devolution cannot be explained in this country. As much as the governors, MCS are messing up on the ground, but the impact is being felt right there. So, Mbarak Dena saying, Mr. Lee, as things stand now, if you were to go, no, sorry, before I go that, this guy was asking, who stands a chance of inheriting Raila Odinga? There's nothing like political inheritance, especially in Luo Nyanza. When before Jaramogi died, he wanted Ford Kenya, He wanted to leave the Luos to James Orengo. Raila Odinga forcefully took it over. Currently, there are people who are angling themselves for post Raila Odinga. In fact, they started before 2017 elections. But from what I know is that someone will emerge. But I can bank on Babu Owino if he will decide to be focused. Babu Owino can easily inherit because everything favors him. Age, being streetwise, being intelligent, all those things. But he needs to change the way he operates. Now, there is Mbarak Dena is asking, as things stand now, if you were to go to the ballot, who do you see can emerge as a winner between Raila and Ruto? And why are you saying so? Thank you. If a contest was to be between Ruto and Raila Odinga, it's going to be hotly contested. But I've always told people that Raila Odinga has an advantage because in the last elections, where he has performed fairly well, he has always had the challenge of the system. So assuming the system will be fair, will not favor Ruto, will not favor Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga's base is almost constant. Ruto will have to ensure that he gains new grounds, especially in ODM strongholds, and also to try and retain his support in central Kenya. Remember, in central Kenya is where top-up was done heavily. A lot of fake voters voted in central Kenya. Those are the realities which you have to face as a country. And besides that, besides all those, in central Kenya, there was over 90% turnout. And again, 90% voted for Ruto. So as long as that number, we voted for Ruto, as long as Ruto cannot sustain that number, then he has a challenge. But I think both of them has fair chance, depending on how the strategies they are going to use moving forward. Kevin Miller, does he have our best interest at heart? One thing I keep on telling people is very simple. Raila Odinga was detained for 9 good years. The family of Raila Odinga suffered. Ida Odinga was fired because of being the wife of Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga could not even raise some of his children well because he was in detention. That was happening when he was the son of the vice president. So if he didn't have the heart of Kenyans, if he didn't have the interest of Kenyans at his heart, Raila Odinga would have just made money. He would have just stolen every other thing in this country. Raila Odinga would be a billionaire today. So he has never, even when he contested to become the member of parliament for Kibra, first time, Jaramogi didn't want him to do that because Jaramogi feared Raila Odinga was going to venture into politics, which almost ruined his own life as a vice president. So I think Raila Odinga has the interest of Kenyans at heart. That's why he has suffered enough. Now there is Jasper Itale, who is a consistent contributor to this channel. I don't think he is asking a question. He's just saying you already have set questions and answer which you want to submit shortly. I didn't have any. I'm just responding to this just live here. Then there's Patrick Obingo. Lee, I'm just asking, in case Baba decides to contest in 2022, from your experience, is he having chances of becoming the president? The presidency of Kenya has never been determined at the ballot, save for the year 2002. The rest is the system. So if the system will favor him, then he has a chance. If the system will not want him, he doesn't have a chance. It's that simple. But if the system will agree now, this time, let us have a fair election, then I think he has a big chance of becoming the president. Joshua Bondo. Baba alikunywa Brookside. He's now Uhunye's project. You see, this is the problem we have in Kenya. Raila Odinga was being accused of every other thing, sabotaging economy and every other thing, leading Kenyans to the street, just like I read someone was asking up there. But you see, he decided, no, I want to help this guy complete the journey, so I'm joining him. And Kenyans are now complaining again. Maneno ya kukunya maziwa, Raila doesn't drink tea. Raila doesn't drink tea. So I don't think that's true. So someone, Sarah Amutavi, Lee, can Ruto win with only Rift Valley and Central? Whom do you think Kenya should vote to erase Uhuru errors, mistakes that is. Central Kenya and Rift Valley can never make someone a president, even if they have 100%. The only thing which can be done is to create a narrative like what Mutai Ngunyi created last time, what they were calling the tyranny of numbers. But those two tribes cannot. They have to get certain votes from certain areas, from certain communities, for them to succeed. But those two, if you have those two blocks behind you, then you have upper hand in Kenyan politics. Those are the realities. Then the next guy, the next question is from Brown Maina. My friend, no one. Okay, that's I'll pass. He's just saying no one minds of your questions. Then Mushiri Mbule, I'm passing some because they're asking several questions which I've already answered. As in one person asking questions 10 times, some of them I'd already answered. So from historical background, Raila hujitakia ali katawa malwa na wote wenye amekuwa nao muungano. Does he have economy to handle economy of the country? Mushiri Mbula, when Mwai Kibaki became the president, courtesy of Raila Odinga, Raila Odinga mentioned only one thing, and he mentioned it 3 times. When he was asked the problems to be solved in Kenya, he said infrastructure, infrastructure, and infrastructure. And he was the minister of roads. So today, in this country, you hear of dual carriage, super highways. You see of the northern corridor, you hear of northern corridor, southern corridor. Those ones were because of Raila Odinga. You can accept it, you cannot accept it, but those are the realities. When Raila Odinga became the minister of roads and transport, he decided to split the department into several units. So he created the Kenya National Highway Authority, KENHA. He created the KORA dealing with the rural, and he also dealt with KERA. So that's why you see a lot of developments devolve in this country. So he's transformational person. Okay, we go on. Again, when it comes to economy, one thing you don't know is that Raila Odinga is a shrewd businessman. Encouraging him not to vice, that's Joma Donex, he has played his part. That's something which most Kenyans have always asked, that Raila Odinga has played his part, he has tried the best he can, he has failed. So the best thing for him is to relax. So he's asking me to ask him not to vie. Raila Odinga, as a Kenyan, has every right to contest. He also has a right not to contest. That choice is left to him and probably his family. So is Baba going to run in 2022? That's, I think, I'd answered Ukombele. That one by Mark Manjale. So Raila Odinga, in my view, has not declared, but is likely to contest. I'm sure the name Raila Odinga will be on the ballot, unless we will decide to support someone else, who is Matiang'i. Nick, does he stand a chance in 2022 presidential race? Just like I said, it's normally the system who determines who becomes the president. So if the system will be comfortable with Raila Odinga becoming the president in 2022, he will. John Dirango has asked several questions. I'm passing that. Job Langat, will Raila going to vie again should he lose in 2022? Past 2022, if Raila Odinga will contest in 2022 and he will lose, I'm not sure whether it's going to run, because even if you consider his age, that would be 10 years from now. I don't even think so. But again, Raila Odinga appears younger than most of current politicians. If you sit with them very keenly, very closely, he appears younger. Even the top presidential contestants in 2022, if you put Raila Odinga here, you put them here, then Raila even looks younger than them. Mike Delta, do you think Raila has plan B should Uhuru turn out to play him? That's Mike Delta. I'm sure that Raila Odinga has plan A. He has plan B, he has plan C, and maybe plan D. Politics, ukilala unafunga macho moja. Unalala macho moja, ingine unawacha. Even Uhuru Before he entered into this handshake with Raila Odinga, he had top plans if Raila Odinga betrays him. So that's politics. Now, Anthony Manyasi, do you think he is heir apparent to Uhuru? I can't tell that, Manyasi. Baba akae tu apumzike, haoni kama hapendezi tena kwa politics yake. Ni kuuliza tu bei ya maziwa iko wapi, sijui bei sukari iko wapi. Mbona siku hizi hapingi tena hizo kelele. Mwalimu anauliza hivyo. Okay. So it will be his time to relax. Even personally, sometimes I feel that Raila Odinga has done enough for this country. So we need to relax. But again, there are certain Kenyans who believe that Raila Odinga should actually continue contesting so that if he can even serve this country for one term, it would be okay. Zabron Mishemi, he can longer rule Kenya. I think he meant he can no longer rule Kenya. Okay, I don't know that. George Masharia, do you think he will stand election and reign for 10 years till 2022? Him and Ruto, who commands big numbers? Between him and Ruto, who can you trust? I want to answer Masharia that elections in Kenya are normally determined by the system. So if the system will want Raila, he will. If they don't want him, he will not. But you are asking me a question here. Between him and Ruto, who can you trust? I always answer people that question without blinking my eyes. I ask them, what has Ruto done for this country? Something you can tell me here that Ruto has done this, he has done this, he has done this. For Raila Odinga, I can tell you he has done this, he has done this, he has done this. Whether you disagree with what I'm telling you, but I can point out to you certain things which Raila Odinga has done. When Kenyans were suffering under the under Kanu regime, Ruto was busy supporting that regime. His classmates like Wafula Buki and the rest were fighting at the university. They were in the same university to bring change. Ruto was not part of it. So at least for me, the freedom, at least today I can stand before a camera and record a video like this and post without any fear, is because of people like Raila Odinga. So when you tell me the person I can trust Raila Odinga. And again, beyond that, even if you ask me, the other reason is very simple. Ruto has always been known to lie with a straight eye. Ruto can lie with a straight eye without blinking. So such a person I cannot trust. You can count the number of times Ruto has lied to this country. There are several cases. Even the Biwotu bought me my first car. Moi bought me my first car. Someone else bought the same first car. You know, those are just lies. People don't operate like that. So where were we? Now, someone is saying, Benjamin Musyoki is saying, nowadays you bulutik people. I think he meant WhatsApp. I always try to respond to WhatsApp and even make calls. The people I respond to, the people I call, even people who have never responded to me, I've never had contact with, I always respond. Sometimes it's just overwhelming. As a human being, I also do other things outside here. I can't respond to all messages, but I try as much as possible to respond. So Musyoka, if you ever send me a message and I didn't reply, kindly forward that message again. I challenge you. Alfred Kaingu, one of my consistent subscribers, is asking, sina swali, ni maombi tu. Tukitaka Kenya ibadilishwe mfumo wa kupigana kila baada ya uchaguzi, huyu mzee akalie kiti. So he's just saying Raila Odinga should be allowed to sit to be the president. Abdueli Omar Lee, if I think to Raila Odinga, Raila is using this BBI to help him become the president of the republic. Even Uhuru is supporting BBI because of remuneration. Now, Abdueli, politics is about interest. As long as this politics is going to serve the interest of Uhuru, Kenyatta will support. As long as it's going to serve the interest of Raila, it's going to support. So that's how politics is the world over. Jenny Jano, let's talk about coronavirus, please. Coronavirus, if you want to hear anything about coronavirus, listen to one of the best cabinet secretaries in this country, Mutahi Kagwe, the cabinet secretary for health. John Ononda, Baba is probably the only person in this country who has made the greatest contribution towards the betterment of Kenya. Whatever he does going forward, may the Almighty God bless him. That's not a question. That's a supplement. There's someone, Ash Mufiris. I don't even know what he's saying. Robert Omai, another consistent subscriber. Do you know that Gideon Moi will join Baba soon? Alliances are going to be formed. And in my view, Gideon Moi is going to be part of the bigger alliance, including Raila Odinga, William Ruto, Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Fred Matiang'i, Hassan Joho, Eugene Wamalwa, all those people. There's Sinani Waguma. Lee, I'm from Uganda. What do you think of Raila's foreign policy, especially Uganda? As a neighbor, we have a lot to do. Who is going to be the next president of Kenya? The only Kenyan amongst the politicians running today who understands foreign policies are two people, Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. Those are the only two people who can talk about foreign policies. So I know Raila Odinga has a policy for East Africa, for Africa, and even internationally. Kuna mtu anaitwa SF anasema tu baba ya wa baba. Huyo I think ni supporter. Alfred Wanga. Do you think at his age he will vie again come 2022? Raila Odinga is strong. There are very weak politicians in this country. How many people thought Raila Odinga would still be active today in this Kenyan politics? In fact, the reason why he was rigged out in 2008 was because these guys realized he was old, so that by the time of 2012, he would be old enough not to run. But Raila Odinga is aging gracefully, very strong. There was this other one here. Ruben Kaze. Ruto is our chief opposition leader right now, and he's not doing bad. That's not related to Raila. Juma J. Lee, did Raila Odinga will be on the presidential ballot 2022? I think I've answered that. Dr. Karai Ali Hassan, do you think should he be the next president? Not very clear, but I think Raila Odinga is going to contest for the presidency, if that's what he's contesting, is asking. Then Anoke is asking, Lee, this man is a con man. Stop wasting your time on him. How can you follow wind blindly when you can't tell where it's blowing from? He's a chameleon. I think these are some of the people who once supported Raila Odinga, but felt betrayed because of Raila Odinga joining President Uhuru Kenyatta. But I think for me, I've supported Raila Odinga because of what I believe he's been doing. Even 1982 coup, in my view, was the best thing that ever happened to this country. Who else? Hey, huyu Ndirangu anaandika vitu mingi. Bashir Sheikh, let Raila know that the blind loyalty he gets from Luos, he never get from other Kenyans. I want to remind Bashir that Raila Odinga is not getting blind loyalty from Luo. The blind loyalty he gets is from the coast. The coastarians support Raila Odinga than the Luo. Luos at least give even other political parties a chance. Go to Kilifi today and confirm. Go to Mombasa. Who else? Mr. Israel, do you see this man leading 2022 as a president? I think I've answered that. Kuna Adhman Mackenzie saying Raila kwa sasa wa Kenya wamechoka naye. Ile kitu angefanya amu endorse Mudavadi Joho ndio watabit Ruto. Because Joho cost, okay. On my side, I want to see Raila to be the president in 2022. I will follow God. That's Polo Kongo. There is Jeremiah Mudhembwa. Raila is a political enigma and is the only best candidate who fits the bill. He can turn around this economy in a short while clearing the corrupt cartel. Kuna mtu ananiuliza hapa, Abdukabar is asking, who is Raila? How do I even respond to that? Kuna Rehab Wahu. He's saying he's diehard supporter of William Ruto, which is your right. Kuna Joseph Oranga is saying people who hate Raila are corrupt by nature. We know it. Raila can fight corruption at the highest level. 2022, Raila is the president. Okay. No idea why we should be recycling people who cannot shape the future of Kenya. We need youthful technocrats. When you talk of youthful technocrats, I don't know what you mean. And when you talk of recycling means someone had been elected, then you bring it back again. Raila Odinga has never been elected the president of the Republic of Kenya. KG Festus, Raila is the most transparent politician in Kenya. Those who hate him do so due to indoctrination. Cambridge Analytica. Sana sana wale wa kutoka Central na Rift Valley. They were fed a lot of nonsense by Cambridge Analytica. Buddha Su, my only wish for Kenya's people right now is to be safe away from coronavirus. Okay. John Kelly is saying, did he sacrifice his son? That's one of the most useless questions ever on earth. Vema Elvis, Kenyans are supposed to ask themselves this simple question. Mr. Baba and Asla, why are they so anxious na hii kiti? Okay. Okwiri Kolanda, during BBI rally in Meru, when it was his turn to speak, his voice was like of an old frog. Therefore, he couldn't carry on. What was the cause? I think Raila Odinga had a sore throat before that event. If you noted, even the rally earlier, he was not feeling well. But I think because this event had been organized, he had to ensure that he attended so that not to disappoint his supporters. Jay Mackenzie, he is a failure. We know that. Okay. I want to end it from there. Maybe the last one, this one I passed here because John Dirangwa ameandika nini mingi. Othman Ka, you are such a dude and nonsense. Nobody can stop reggae. You can never stop an idea. Hey? Okay. David Keru, former Prime Minister of Kenya, is a good man who has always championed the right of all Kenyans. He will implement all he promised and struggle in his quest for social, political, and economic liberation of Kenya. If Kenyans give him a chance, he will be the best president Kenyans have always wished for. I want to end it there. Thank you, guys.